Welcome back everyone, this is MandoAllDay, back for the video, and in this video, I'll be doing an overview of Adam Strange Between Two Worlds, the Deluxe Edition. I'll be talking about the story itself in terms of the pacing, the art, and of course, if it's worth your purchase or not. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to now support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So, let's take a look in front of the dust jacket, the spine, the back, and I'll do a full spread image of the dust jacket. It looks pretty cool. This is front of the book, the spine, the back, and I'll show you a full spread image of the art. Looks pretty cool. Alright, now let's take a look at what's inside. So this book is broken down to 3 different stories. So you have Adam Strange 1 through 3 from 1990s, JLA 2021, and Adam Strange 1 through 8 from 2004. So I'll be talking about each story very little and give you my thoughts and opinion of each story. So on that note, let's just get right into it. So the first story is basically Adam Strange has like one last trip left to go to Earth before he says goodbye. And he's going to go goodbye because he can no longer keep going back and forth to the planet Ran and of course Earth. So he decides to go to Earth one more time to do what he has to do, gather his stuff before he says goodbye. While he's in Earth, the people from Ren, some of the people are actually against Adam Strange. They hate him. They hate him the fact he's a hero because he's an actual human. One thing leads to another. Adam Strange comes back. He goes crazy and berserk. I can't say too much because it's a very short story. It's only 3 issues. And that is like the gist of the story. Essentially, there's a group of people who don't like Adam Strange and they want to go back to the old ways. And there's some twists and turns here. And I gotta say, this first story, I did not like it. The writing is the issue here. The art is fine. I think for this particular story from the 1990s, I think the art is fine. It's okay. Nothing really popped out for me. Just the writing is just really not my thing. It was, I'll be honest, it was a bit stale. There were times I was a bit bored. And it isn't because of the pacing. It's just because of the writing. There was no personality to Adam Strange. It's literally just words for character. Like, this person says something, and then this other person says something, and this other person says something. There's really like no personality. I couldn't even describe to you in this story who Adam Strange is in terms of his personality. Like, there's nothing out here. It's just words after words after words. And I mean, there's some cool twists and turns here and there, especially when Adam Strange come back, and there is an extra subplot to it, which I won't say too much, which I like. And then towards the end, there's a bit of a twist, which is pretty cool. But for the most part, though, I did not like this first story. I forced myself to read it, and I just was not digging it, man. I was not digging it at all. So to me, that first story is going to give it a thumbs down on the first story. I'm sorry. I probably offended a lot of people, especially people who like 90s DC comics. Just not for me, man. I did not like it at all. And the art itself, like I said, it's good. It's clean looking. The pacing, it's fine. It's like average. But just the writing is just boring. I did not really get into it. But to me, the first story is going to get a thumbs down. Now, the second story is going to be if I can find it. Nope, that's not it. And it's going to be, I'm almost, there you go. It's going to be the JLA issues 2021. And this is only 2 issues. I can't say too much about it. But for the most part of the story, essentially Adam Strange captures the Justice League for a particular reason, which I won't discuss because I will give it away, spoiled it. It's a very short story, but nonetheless, so even though it's short, I enjoyed this a lot more compared to the first one. I think the art's good. The coloring on here on the art is actually a lot better because the first one is very just kind of dried and dark and muted colors. This one, the colors do pop, as you can see here. It do shine very nicely. It is a matte paper quality on the paper, so it's unfortunate, but nonetheless, so the art is good, but the writing is a lot better. The story makes more sense in the context of what's going on here. Again, I can't say too much because I'll give it away, but I really enjoy this story. Even though it's short, simple, pretty straightforward, it can be predictable, but it's actually fun though, and I like this one. And again, I can't say too much because it's only 2 issues, so for me, this one, the JLA story, gives it a thumbs up, and it got me. I went from really hating this book to okay, now I'm kind of even. That's how much I like this one. So keep that as that. Now the next story, and this is the longer one, It's going to be, if I can find it right over, yep, it's going to be right here. All right, so this story is going to be about Adam Strange. He's being interrogated by Gotham PD, and they're interrogating him because they want to know who he is, why is he wearing a costume, and so forth. And so they think he's crazy. And the story progresses, and then Adam Strange meets up with Superman, and Superman basically tells him, hey, your planet, where your wife is and your kid is, planet Ran, it's destroyed, it's gone, it's no longer there, it's done, like it's not even existent anymore. Adam Strange is like shocked, and he couldn't believe it. You know, story progresses, and unfortunately, Adam Strange is being hunted by two different bounty hunters. While he's being chased, he noticed that these two bounty hunters have this, how can I say, I guess there's the Zeta radiation of them, and so he recognizes that. He referring to Adam Strange, he recognizes that, so he captures them and trying to get more information of like where they come from, who hired him as a bounty hunter, but more importantly, is it really true what Superman said? Did the planet Ran evaporate, non-existent anymore? And that is like the main gist of the story. Him trying to figure out what's really going on, who is the bounty hunters, and why they're after him. But more importantly, if it's true that the planet Rand is gone, how come these two bounty hunters have the radiation of his own planet? And I can't see too much, but overall, this story better, a lot better than the first one. I would say the JLA is probably still my favorite. This one's a lot better. I enjoy this one a lot more. The pacing of this particular story, it's about average. Sometimes it's a little bit above average, but the writing is a lot better. It gets going when it's supposed to, and you feel some emotion on here with Adam Strange. You see him struggle sometimes, but also you see him being a hero and being clever, which I won't say too much because I'll spoil it. So to me, this story is a lot better, and I really enjoyed it. In terms of the art, I think the art looks good, very clean looking. Not much to it in terms of the art. I noticed the color palette on this third story. It's very like brownish, dark brown, cream color. You can see that color palette right here. It's kind of like a, I don't know, almost like a burnt color tone palette, if that makes any sense. But the art is good. It's clean. It's okay. The JLA art's good. I like it as well too. The pacing of it, like I said, is about average to above sometimes. Do you need to have prior knowledge? Not really. You can actually get this book and read it, and you can kind of get a good idea who Adam Strange is, the planet Ran, and just having 3 different stories on here. So I personally recommend it. Is if you're unfamiliar with Adam Strange, you may want to pick this up because I didn't know too much about it, but once I read this book, I kind of got a better understanding of Adam Strange. But don't get me wrong, it doesn't give you like, here is the first time he, no, like throughout this whole entire book, they reference like what happened, how he got his powers, how he got teleported to Ran, how he met his wife, and blah, 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 blah. You know, you get what I'm saying. So overall, though, Adam Strange Between Two Worlds, what do I think about it? I'm going to give it a thumbs up, man. I enjoyed it. Yes, the first story, I did not like it. And like I said, I was really hating this book. And I was like, oh, God, it's only 3 issues. And I'm already hating it. The JLA brought me up to like normal excitement. And this one kind of brought it up 1 extra layer. So to me, though, Adam Strange Between Two Worlds, a deluxe edition, gives a thumbs up for me. I dig it. I recommend it, especially if you don't know Adam Strange. You want to know more about Adam Strange. Like I said, definitely check this book out. I recommend it. So to me, it gets a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think. Have you read this book? If you plan on reading this book, leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button and support channel to keep up to date and watch videos like this. That includes an overview of Adam Strange Between Two Worlds, the deluxe edition, and on to the next one.